Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. Are you ready for another weekly blast of sci-fi goodness? Buckle up because we're about to launch into another thrilling sci-fi probe. This time we've got two wild galactic tales from the amazing world of flash fiction. We're talking stories that feel like, I don't know, blockbuster sci-fi films or epic short stories you just can't put down.
It's going to be quite a ride. These stories take us to the edge of the galaxy and back, exploring themes of survival, ambition, and the very nature of humanity's place in the vast universe.
You provided us with two really fascinating flash fiction stories, each one unique, but both just packed with imagination and those what-if moments that make sci-fi so captivating. So are you ready to unpack all this?
Absolutely. I'm eager to dive into the intricate details and explore the potential implications these stories offer.
Perfect. So let's kick things off with our first sci-fi prubo. Think Hansel and Gretel in space. You with me?
I'm intrigued already. The blend of a classic fairy tale framework with the limitless possibilities of science fiction sounds like a recipe for a truly compelling narrative.
Oh, it totally is. This story takes us way beyond the Milky Way, like light years beyond anything familiar, to this desolate planet under completely alien constellations. And it's on this unforgiving world that we find two siblings, Hansel and Gretel, completely marooned after their transport mission goes completely sideways.
Talk about a nightmare scenario. Stranded in the depths of space on a hostile alien planet, it really makes you consider the fragility of human technology and the sheer vastness of the universe we inhabit.
Right, and they're forced to rely solely on their wits and each other if they even want to survive. You are really interested in those stories that deliver quick but super thorough knowledge, and this one absolutely throws you right into the thick of it, right?
It's that classic survival narrative, but amplified by the sheer scale and the unknown dangers of a truly alien environment. It makes you wonder how those primal instincts for survival, for connection, would play out when everything familiar is stripped away.
Exactly, and the story does a brilliant job of contrasting their father's, optimistic stories about the wonders of space travel with their current, very harsh reality. They were basically abandoned by their stepmother during what should have been a routine transport. Now they're utterly alone. It's a stark reminder that space, for all its beauty and wonder, can also be a terrifyingly indifferent and dangerous place.
It's a theme that resonates throughout so much of science fiction, the tension between humanity's desire to explore and the very real risks involved. It taps into that sense of awe and trepidation we all feel when we look up at the night sky and contemplate what might be out there.
Absolutely. So let's meet our protagonists. We have Hansel, who's got this dark hair, always seems to be carrying this makeshift tool belt, hinting at his practical nature. But his eyes, they hold this fascinating mix of wonder at the alien sights around him and a growing fear about their desperate situation.
It's a vivid image, isn't it? That blend of innocence and a dawning awareness of the very real dangers they face. You can practically feel his mind racing, trying to reconcile the wonders his father described with the brutal reality of their predicament.
Yeah. And then there's Gretel. With her vibrant red hair and piercing green eyes, she's trying to be the strong one, right? The steady rock for her younger brother. But you can sense this underlying uncertainty of vulnerability that she's desperately trying to mask. It makes you wonder what's going on beneath that determined exterior.
There's a real depth to her character, even in these initial descriptions. It suggests a fierce loyalty and a protectiveness that will undoubtedly play a vital role in their struggle for survival. The story subtly hints at this, that beneath that outward calm she possesses a strength and resourcefulness that will prove essential in their fight against the odds.
Definitely. And their initial survival is a true testament to their resourcefulness and their ability to adapt. They scavenge parts from the wreckage of their transport ship, managing to cobble together a very basic shelter against the planet's harsh elements. At first glance, the planet appears completely barren, lifeless, just a desolate wasteland. But then Gretel stumbles upon something truly extraordinary, something that changes everything.
It's the moment in this story where a glimmer of hope appears amidst the bleakness, a discovery that suggests there might be more to this desolate world than initially meets the eye.
Exactly. Imagine this. Tucked away in this craggy valley, Gretel finds this incredibly strange structure. The architecture is all swirling and spiraling, and the walls shimmer with this iridescent light. It's unlike anything human. It just screams alien technology, advanced beyond anything they've ever seen.
That's a fantastic visual, isn't it? The stark, almost monochrome landscape punctuated by this structure with its shimmering otherworldly beauty It's a classic sci-fi trope, the discovery of ancient alien technology, but the way it's presented here just oozes mystery and a sense of the unknown. It's a beacon of potential in a landscape that seems utterly devoid of hope.
And venturing inside this strange structure, they encounter something even more remarkable. They find Hexe, this ancient and seemingly sentient AI, residing in the central chamber of the structure. It's guarded by this pulsing orb of light, and its voice is described as melodic and almost disembodied. It's like the voice of the structure itself.
The introduction of Hex immediately adds a whole new layer of complexity to the story. An AI, possibly ancient, potentially holding the key to their survival, but also shrouded in mystery. It's a reminder that technology, even at its most advanced, can be both a source of hope and potential danger, especially when we don't fully understand its nature or its purpose.
Right. And Hex offers them knowledge, access to this vast database of information, but with a very significant caveat. It refuses to directly help them contact their people. It's like being given the key to the universe's greatest library, but not being allowed to check out the one book you desperately need.
It's a classic example of the trope of the enigmatic AI, isn't it?
Hmm.
Benevolent, perhaps, but bound by some unknown programming or a sense of cosmic detachment that prevents it from directly intervening in human affairs. It raises all sorts of fascinating questions about the nature of artificial intelligence and the potential ethical dilemmas we might face as we develop increasingly sophisticated AI systems.
For sure. They spend what feels like forever trying to decipher Hex's clues, desperately trying to use its alien tech to send out a distress signal, but nothing seems to work. Hexa remains this frustrating enigma, and its true capabilities, its true intentions, remain just out of reach. It's almost as if it's testing them, observing them, waiting for them to prove themselves worthy in some way.
That element of mystery surrounding Hex's motivations really adds to the suspense, doesn't it?
Hmm.
It forces the reader to engage with the story on a deeper level, to speculate about the AI's true nature, and to consider the potential consequences of its actions or inaction.
Totally. And then, just when things seem at their bleakest, a violent storm descends upon the planet. It's an alien storm, unlike anything on Earth, and it forces them to seek shelter back inside Hex's structure.
It's almost as if the planet itself is conspiring to push them further into the embrace of this enigmatic AI, forcing them to confront their own fears and limitations in the face of forces beyond their control.
And during the storm, the orb of light in the chamber begins to pulsate, emitting this soothing glow. And it feels like, in that moment, a strange bond forms between the siblings and Hex. Like some kind of unspoken understanding is reached. It's subtle, but it marks a real turning point in the story. Their focus shifts from just pure survival to something more. They begin to actively seek knowledge and understanding within this alien sanctuary.
That's a really interesting observation. The storm acts as a catalyst, pushing them into a deeper, more intimate relationship with the AI. The orb's glow, almost like a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, suggests a connection that goes beyond mere utility or survival. It's a moment of potential transformation, a hint that perhaps Hex is not just a source of information, but a potential guide or even a protector.
Totally. And when the storm finally subsides, they venture back out into a landscape that's been subtly but profoundly changed. The planet is no longer just a barren wasteland. Now it reveals itself as this amazing trove of alien technology, but of course, with that comes hidden dangers.
It's a classic sci-fi theme, isn't it? The idea that advanced technology, especially alien technology, can be both a source of wonder and a potential threat. It's a reminder that progress, especially technological progress, often comes with unforeseen consequences.
And they have this terrifying encounter with this creature. Imagine this light refracting scales, sharp, jagged claws, something totally alien and very clearly hostile. And they're forced to use their quick thinking and what little they've salvaged to defend themselves. It's a real wake-up call, a reminder that this planet, while potentially offering them a way out, is also full of unknown and deadly threats. They are not alone.
That encounter serves a crucial narrative purpose, doesn't it? It shatters any lingering illusion that they can simply wait to be rescued. It forces them to become proactive, to adapt to their new environment, not just as survivors, but as defenders.
Yeah, for sure. And their attempts to understand Hex's data continue. Hansel gets more and more frustrated by the cryptic nature of it all, while Gretel somehow clings to her optimism, her belief that there must be a way to use this technology to get home. And then, almost by accident, they discover this hidden panel. It's a control interface, far more complex than anything they've seen before, and it seems to unlock deeper functions within Hex.
This discovery feels like a significant turning point, doesn't it? It suggests that their perseverance, their growing understanding of this alien technology, is starting to yield results. They're no longer just passive recipients of information. They're starting to actively engage with Hex's systems to influence its behavior.
Right, and this leads them to formulate a pretty audacious plan. They decide to try and use Hex's technology to amplify their distress signal, hoping to reach someone, anyone out there in the vastness of space. But it's a huge gamble. They could overload Hex's systems, maybe even destroy their only ally, or, even worse, attract the attention of something far more dangerous than just being stranded on this planet.
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it?
Oh,
The need to take risks versus the fear of unintended consequences. It's a theme that runs through so much of human history, from our earliest explorations to the development of powerful new technologies. In this case, the stakes are literally galactic in scope.
totally. And, as you might expect, things don't go exactly to plan. The attempt to boost the signal creates this crazy feedback loop. Hex's systems start overloading, the whole chamber starts shaking, and then, in this chilling voice, Hexe delivers this warning. It says, "You have awakened them." I mean, talk about a spine-tingling moment. It's like the whole story takes this sudden and terrifying turn.
That single line completely reframes their predicament, doesn't it? It moves the story from a relatively contained, isolated survival scenario to a much grander, more perilous context. They've unwittingly triggered something with galactic-scale implications. The question is, what exactly have they awakened?
And then we find out. Sleek, menacing ships suddenly appear in the sky. These things are unlike anything they've ever seen, with weird insignias that just scream hostile. And they start disembarking heavily armed troops. It becomes very clear very quickly that these are not rescuers.
It's a classic invasion scenario, but with that added layer of cosmic mystery. The fact that these ships are drawn directly to Hexe implies that they are not simply random raiders or explorers. They are here for a specific purpose, and that purpose is intimately connected to this ancient AI.
And they're not just after any tech, right? These invaders are specifically searching for Hexe. The siblings realize, with a growing sense of dread, that Hexe isn't just some helpful AI, it's something far more valuable, far more coveted than they ever could have imagined.
This realization completely flips their perspective, doesn't it? They're no longer just fighting for their own survival. They've unwittingly become the protectors of this incredibly significant, potentially galaxy-altering technology. It adds a whole new layer of moral complexity to their already desperate situation.
Totally. And what follows is this, incredibly fierce battle for survival. Hansel and Gretel, these two kids who were just trying to find their way home, are completely outnumbered, but they use every advantage they can to defend Hex's sanctuary. We're introduced to the leader of the invaders, tall, imposing, with these glowing eyes that are just unnerving, and he's wielding this energy weapon that looks absolutely deadly. He demands Hexe, and Hansel, this young boy who was so terrified just a short while ago, he refuses. It's a pretty powerful moment of defiance.
It's a perfect illustration of how adversity can forge resilience, even the most unlikely of heroes. Hansel's act of defiance in the face of overwhelming odds speaks volumes about his growth and his newfound sense of purpose. He's no longer just a scared child. He's become a protector, a defender of something greater than himself.
The battle rages on. Hansel and Gretel are fighting back to back, using their wits and their knowledge of the structure to their advantage. The invaders are relentless, but just when things look completely hopeless, Hexe intervenes. It unleashes this wave of energy, disrupting the invaders' tech and momentarily turning the tide of the battle.
Hex's intervention is a crucial moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It confirms that the AI, despite its initial reluctance to directly assist the siblings, is not entirely indifferent to their fate. It has, in some way, become invested in their survival, perhaps even recognizing them as allies or protectors.
Absolutely. And seeing this opportunity, Hansel and Gretel launch a desperate counterattack. But it's still a David versus Goliath situation. The leader of the invaders seems almost unfazed by Hex's energy wave, and he keeps advancing this menacing figure of unstoppable force. He targets Hansel, and Gretel, without hesitation, throws herself in front of her brother, taking the full force of the attack.
It's a heartbreaking moment, a classic act of selfless sacrifice. It underscores the depth of the bond between these siblings, a bond forged not just through shared blood, but through shared experiences, shared trauma, and a shared determination to survive.
And it looks like she might be gone. Hansel is devastated, completely consumed by grief and rage. But then Hexe acts again. It creates this protective energy barrier around the siblings, shielding them from the leader's attack. The leader, visibly frustrated, is forced to retreat, withdrawing his remaining troops and vanishing back into the alien sky.
Hex's continued intervention is fascinating, isn't it? It suggests a growing connection to these children, a recognition of their worthiness, perhaps even a sense of shared purpose. It raises all sorts of questions about the evolving nature of artificial intelligence and the potential for genuine, even emotional bonds to form between AI and humanity.
As Hansel tends to his seemingly lifeless sister, his despair starts to give way to relief. Gretel stirs, weakly at first, but she's alive. Her first words are about protecting Hansel, and in that moment they both understand the true gravity of this situation. They're no longer just lost kids hoping to find their way home. They're warriors, protectors of a secret that could have galactic-level consequences. And they know, with a chilling certainty, that the invaders will be back.
It's a powerful ending to the story, isn't it? It leaves the reader with a sense of both hope and dread. Hope for the resilience of the human spirit, for the enduring power of family bonds, and dread for the inevitable confrontation to come. It's a story that lingers in the mind, prompting us to consider the potential for both wonder and danger in the vast unknown reaches of space.
For sure. It really is. Okay, ready to switch gears. Let's blast off to our second sci-fi prewo. This one is Phileas Fogg of the Starways, and it takes us from that desperate struggle for survival to a completely different kind of adventure.
Oh, absolutely. This one's a wild ride through the galaxy, filled with ambition, intrigue, and some truly unforgettable characters. It's a story that speaks to our inherent desire to explore, to push the boundaries of what we believe is possible.
It totally does. The story kicks off in this super opulent setting, right? We're talking about the Intergalactic Explorers Club here on good old Earth. And the place is buzzing with excitement, but also a good deal of skepticism, all swirling around Phileas Fogg and his absolutely audacious proposal.
The Intergalactic Explorers Club, I love it.
That it-
It immediately conjures up images of a society where interstellar travel is commonplace, where the thrill of exploration is ingrained in the very fabric of their culture.
Right. And Phileas Fogg, or Fogg of the Starways, as he's known, is standing at the center of it all. And imagine this, he's dressed impeccably in these futuristic fabrics you can only dream of, but he's still carrying this old-fashioned pocket watch. It's like a symbol of this blend of classic adventurous spirit and futuristic ambition. And he's got this aura of serene confidence, this unwavering belief that he can achieve the impossible.
It's a brilliant characterization, isn't it? That detail of the pocket watch is perfect. It grounds him in a sense of history, of traditional exploration, while simultaneously hinting at his unconventional, almost eccentric nature. He's a man who clearly operates on his own terms, unfazed by the skepticism and doubts of those around him.
Exactly. And what's he proposing? Oh, just a casual jaunt around the entire known galaxy in 80 days using only commercially available space routes. I mean, come on, the sheer audacity of it is mind-blowing.
It's a challenge that seems utterly impossible, even in a future with advanced space travel. It immediately grabs the reader's attention and sets the stage for a truly epic adventure, a race against time on a galactic scale.
And then we have Lord Kelvin, Fogg's rival, this influential figure who just oozes condescension. He calls Fogg's proposal fanciful, a fool's errand. You can practically hear the disdain dripping from his words. It immediately sets up this great conflict, right? The belief in the possible versus the acceptance of perceived limitations.
It's a classic clash of ideologies, isn't it? The visionary versus the pragmatist. Lord Kelvin represents those who define the boundaries of what they believe is achievable, while Fogg embodies that unyielding human spirit that seeks to constantly push those boundaries to challenge the very notion of what is possible.
Absolutely. And to prove his point, to silence the doubters, Fogg makes this outrageous wager. He bets half his fortune, and we're not talking small change here, that he can complete this galactic circumnavigation within 80 days. The whole room is stunned. You could hear a pin drop.
It's a moment of high drama, a declaration of intent that raises the stakes to an astronomical level. It's not just about proving a point, it's about putting everything on the line, a testament to Fogg's unwavering conviction and his almost reckless disregard for personal risk.
So the very next morning, Fogg and his trusty valet, Passepartout, blast off aboard their starship, the Stargazer. Passepartout, who, by the way, is this former space engineer with a mop of unruly hair that just screams resourceful but a little chaotic, is understandably nervous. But Fogg, ever the stoic, just smiles and assures him that they are indeed bound for the stars.
The dynamic between Fogg and Passepartout is brilliant. It's that classic pairing of the unflappable leader and the more grounded, relatable companion. Passepartout's concerns provide a counterpoint to Fogg's unwavering confidence, highlighting the very real dangers and logistical nightmares involved in such an undertaking.
And adding to the intrigue, we're introduced to Detective Fix, this super determined space marshal who's watching their launch, convinced that there's something more to Fogg's journey than meets the eye. He vows to keep tabs on Fogg every step of the way. It's like a cosmic cat and mouse game is about to unfold across the galaxy.
The introduction of Detective Fix adds another layer of suspense to the story. It introduces an element of external conflict, a potential threat that exists outside the immediate challenges of space travel. It makes you wonder what Fix suspects, what hidden motives he attributes to Fogg, and what lengths he'll go to uncover the supposed truth.
And the journey begins. They encounter nebulae that are so beautiful they take your breath away. They navigate through treacherous asteroid fields, just barely avoiding disaster. Their first stop is the bustling Martian spaceport, this hub of interstellar commerce and activity. And through it all, Fogg remains calm, collected, almost as if he's on a leisurely Sunday drive instead of a breakneck race across the galaxy.
It's a fantastic juxtaposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
The awe-inspiring wonders of space travel set against the more mundane aspects of interstellar commerce. It creates a sense of the vastness and the diversity of the galaxy, a universe where grand adventures coexist with the everyday realities of life in a technologically advanced future.
And the news of Fogg's crazy wager spreads like wildfire across the galactic networks. It becomes this huge sensation, this story that everyone is following. People are placing bets, speculating on his chances. Fogg, whether he intended to or not, has become this galactic celebrity, a symbol of human ambition and audacity.
It's a reminder of the power of narrative, isn't it? Even in a future where space travel is commonplace, the human fascination with extraordinary feats of daring and exploration remains strong. Fogg's journey taps into that primal desire to push boundaries, to see what lies beyond the horizon, and it captures the imagination of people across the galaxy.
Totally. They blast off from Mars, leaving the crowds and the cameras behind, and Fogg, for once, takes a moment to contemplate the vastness of space, the sheer immensity of it all. It's like he needs a moment to process the scale of his undertaking, to find his center amidst the chaos of the journey. Meanwhile, Detective Fix, completely unseen, continues his relentless pursuit. He's convinced that Fogg is hiding something, that this whole wager is just a cover for some nefarious scheme.
The contrast between Fogg's moment of quiet contemplation and Fix's unwavering suspicion is incredibly effective. It suggests that Fogg's journey is not just a physical race against time, but also a test of character, a battle against the doubts and prejudices of those who refuse to believe in the possibility of his success.
They press onward, navigating the icy expanse of the Kuiper Belt, making quick stops at space stations for refueling and repairs. And at one such stop, at this remote asteroid mining colony, they have this chance encounter with Aouda, this incredibly intelligent and composed diplomat from another system.
Oda's introduction marks a significant turning point in the story, doesn't it? It introduces a new dynamic, a new perspective, and it suggests that Fogg's journey is about to become much more complex than simply a race against the clock.
Totally. Aouda finds herself embroiled in this tricky dispute with the miners, and Fogg, with his inherent sense of justice and fair play, steps in to help. And in doing so, he earns Aouda's gratitude and an offer of assistance. She's got these powerful connections across the galaxy, and she's willing to use them to help Fogg achieve his goal.
It's a reminder that even the most independent, self-reliant individuals sometimes need the help of others. It highlights the importance of collaboration, of building alliances, and of recognizing the value of diverse perspectives.
And Fogg, to his credit, accepts her offer. He recognizes that sometimes the most direct path to success is not always a straight line. And so their journey continues now with Aouda as part of the team. They navigate the complex currents of space-time. They deal with delicate diplomatic situations and newly contacted systems. They even run into pirates at one point, which is a whole other story.
It's a whirlwind of adventures, isn't it? A tapestry of experiences woven across the vast canvas of the galaxy. It highlights the sheer scope of their undertaking, the incredible diversity of cultures and challenges they encounter, and the constant need for adaptability and quick thinking.
Oh, yeah. It's a wild ride. And as they face these challenges together, the bond between Fogg, Passepartout, and Aouda grows stronger. They become more than just a team. They become friends, confidants, a family of sorts, bound together by their shared goal and the trust they've built in each other. And all the while, Detective Fix is still out there, lurking in the shadows, watching their every move. You know that confrontation is coming.
The development of that camaraderie is a really important part of the story, I think. It highlights the human element amidst all the galactic-scale adventures. It reminds us that even in the vastness of space, the connections we forge with others are what give our lives meaning and purpose.
So they're racing through the Sigma sector, right? They have to navigate this super dangerous asteroid field, and this is where Passepartout's piloting skills really shine. He's pulling off these incredible maneuvers, dodging asteroids left and right, all while Fogg is calmly issuing instructions, and Ode is just holding on for dear life, amazed by their combined skill and composure.
It's a great action sequence, full of tension and excitement, and it showcases the individual strengths of each character. Passepartout's piloting, Fogg's strategic thinking, and Oda's ability to remain calm under pressure all contribute to their success. It's a reminder that even in the face of extreme danger, teamwork and clear thinking can make all the difference.
They reach the planet Zephyria, which is inhabited by this, alien species that are incredibly cautious, almost wary of humans. They've had some bad experiences in the past. Fogg has to engage in these delicate negotiations with their council to secure safe passage for their ship. He's respectful, assertive, and ultimately successful, but not before receiving a cryptic warning about galactic shadows.
The encounter on Zephyria is a reminder that the galaxy is not a homogeneous place. It's a tapestry of diverse cultures, each with its own history, values, and in this case, a deep mistrust of outsiders. The warning about galactic shadows adds a layer of intrigue and potential danger to their journey, suggesting the existence of forces that operate beyond the boundaries of known space, forces that might pose a threat to humanity's continued expansion.
Ayuda, having witnessed Fogg's diplomatic skills firsthand, starts to worry even more about the dangers they're facing. But Fogg, ever the Snowick, just accepts danger as an unavoidable part of their mission. He's so focused on the goal, on winning the wager, that he seems almost indifferent to the risks involved.
Oda's concerns provide a valuable counterpoint to Fogg's single-mindedness. It reminds us that even the most ambitious pursuits should be tempered with a healthy dose of caution and a recognition of the potential consequences, both for oneself and for others.
And then they hit a snag, a big one. They're approaching the Nebula of Orion, one of the most spectacular sights in the galaxy, but they encounter this unforeseen space-time anomaly. Imagine this space and time twisting and warping around them. It's like being caught in a cosmic whirlpool. Their systems start failing, Passepartout struggling to maintain control, and even Fogg, for once, looks worried.
It's a classic sci-fi trope, isn't it? The encounter with the inexplicable, the phenomenon that defies our understanding of the laws of physics. It highlights the inherent unpredictability of space travel, even with advanced technology, and it forces the characters to confront their own limitations in the face of the vast unknown.
It's a desperate situation, and they have to think fast. Aouda discovers this emergency protocol, something that's only used in the most dire of circumstances. It involves initiating a controlled implosion of a section of their ship to generate enough force to break free from the anomaly's pull. It's incredibly risky, potentially suicidal, but they have no other choice.
It's a moment of pure desperation, a gamble with their lives, and it highlights the incredible courage and resourcefulness of these characters. They're willing to do whatever it takes to survive, to push the boundaries of their own capabilities and to challenge the very limits of their technology.
And somehow they pull it off. They escape the anomaly, but their ship is badly damaged. Even Fogg, for the first time, admits that they might have underestimated the dangers of this journey. But he's not giving up. He's determined to press on, to adapt, to overcome whatever obstacles stand in their way.
Fogg's admission of vulnerability is a significant moment, I think. It humanizes him, shows that even he, with his unwavering confidence, is capable of doubt. But his determination to continue, to learn from his mistakes and adapt to unforeseen challenges is what truly defines his character. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to persevere, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.
They stumble upon this uncharted planet, a world that's bathed in this strange radiant energy. It's beautiful, but that energy is also causing their remaining systems to fail. They're forced to make an emergency landing.
It's a classic sci-fi scenario, isn't it? The forced landing on an uncharted world, the encounter with the truly alien. It's a chance for the characters to explore, to discover, to learn, but it's also a source of potential danger, a reminder that the universe is full of unknowns.
And the planet is just amazing. It's got these crystalline structures that seem to grow out of the ground, and the plants, they glow with this bioluminescent light. It's like something out of a dream, but it's also incredibly real, incredibly alien.
The descriptions of the planet are incredibly vivid, evocative. It's a world unlike anything we've ever seen, and it highlights the incredible potential of the universe for wonder and diversity. It makes you want to explore, to see these wonders for yourself, but it also instills a sense of awe and respect for the power and mystery of the natural world, even in its most alien forms.
They have these encounters with what seem to be sentient crystal beings, creatures that communicate through light and energy. And the plants, they defy gravity, floating gently in the air. It's a world that challenges their very understanding of biology and physics.
It's a reminder that our human-centric view of life and the universe is likely incredibly limited. There may be forms of life, of consciousness, that exist beyond our current comprehension, operating on principles that we have yet to discover. It's a humbling thought, and it speaks to the vastness of the unknown and the infinite possibilities that lie out there among the stars.
Passepartout works on assessing the damage to their ship, and Fogg, ever the pragmatist, sets about trying to find resources they can use to make repairs. And then Oda makes this incredible discovery. She finds this cavern, and inside there's this incredibly powerful energy source, something unlike anything they've ever encountered.
It's a ray of hope in an otherwise desperate situation. It's a testament to Ouda's sharp mind and her ability to see opportunity where others might see only obstacles.
They realize that this energy source could be the key to not only repairing their ship, but also potentially giving it a serious upgrade. It's a long shot, but they're willing to try anything. They adapt their technology, trying to harness this alien energy, and it's super risky. There's this huge surge of energy, and for a moment it looks like it might all go wrong. But then it stabilizes, and their ship is not only repaired, but significantly enhanced.
It's a classic sci-fi trope, the discovery of alien technology that advances our own understanding and capabilities. It highlights the potential for human ingenuity to adapt and innovate, even in the face of the completely unknown. And it raises fascinating questions about the ethical implications of using such technology, especially if it comes at the expense of another civilization or a pristine environment.
But just when they think they're in the clear, ready to resume your journey, they're ambushed. A fleet of unknown spacecraft appears out of nowhere, and they're captured. It turns out this seemingly uninhabited planet wasn't uninhabited after all. They've stumbled into something much bigger, much more dangerous than they ever could have imagined.
It's a classic narrative twist, and it serves to remind the characters and the reader that even in a future where humanity has expanded across the stars, we are still far from being the dominant force in the universe. There may be civilizations out there that are far more advanced, far more powerful, and perhaps not as welcoming as we might hope.
They're taken captive and brought before this incredibly advanced alien civilization. Their technology is beyond anything humans have ever seen, and they look at the humans with this mixture of curiosity and contempt. They accuse the humans of violating a sacred world.
It's a humbling encounter, isn't it? It challenges our anthropocentric view of the universe, forcing us to consider the possibility that we might not be at the top of the cosmic hierarchy. And it raises important questions about the ethics of interstellar exploration, the potential for conflict when encountering other civilizations, and the need for respect and understanding when engaging with the unknown.
Fogg tries to explain, to apologize for their intrusion, but it's clear that they've committed a serious offense. They're imprisoned, their fate uncertain. And Fogg, for perhaps the first time, truly doubts himself. He realizes that his intellect, his determination, might not be enough to get them out of this situation. He has to learn to adapt, to understand these aliens if he wants to survive. It's a moment of profound growth for him.
It's a crucial turning point for Fogg's character. He's forced to confront his own limitations, his own arrogance, and to recognize that there are forces in the universe that he cannot control, cultures he cannot manipulate. It's a humbling experience, and it opens him up to the possibility of genuine learning and growth.
And so the story ends with Fogg, Passepartout, and Ouda imprisoned on this alien world, their journey seemingly at an end. But their spirit is not broken. They're determined to find a way to continue to understand this alien civilization, to earn their respect, and to ultimately find their way back to the stars.